Hey everyone, welcome back to Traveloo. Today, we're diving into the wonders of the Netherlands. From picturesque canals to historic windmills, this country has so much to offer. So buckle up, smash that like button, and let's explore the 10 best places you absolutely must visit. Alright, before we even get into the cities, we gotta talk about the vibe in the Netherlands. And that vibe is two wheels, baby. I'm not kidding. They have more bikes than people. Think about that for a second. It's insane. You walk out your door, and it's like a sea of bikes. But it's not just the sheer number of bikes, it's the whole culture. Everyone rides. Grandmas, businessmen in suits, little kids, everyone. And they're not just cruising around either. These people can ride. The infrastructure is amazing, with dedicated bike lanes everywhere. It's actually the best way to see the country. You can zip around, feel the wind in your hair. It's exhilarating. Seriously, if you're going to the Netherlands, you have to rent a bike. It's a rite of passage. Just be sure to wear a helmet, because these Dutchies don't mess around when it comes to biking. Alright, let's talk Amsterdam, specifically the canals. Now I know what you're thinking. Casey, canals? Sounds a little sleepy. But trust me on this one. These aren't your grandma's canals. These are UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and they are popping off. First of all, the sheer scale of it is mind-blowing. We're talking over 100 kilometers of canals, crisscrossing the city like a spiderweb. And the buildings lining these canals? Forget about it. They're like something out of a fairy tale, all crooked and leaning with these colorful, centuries-old facades. Now, you can walk along the canals, which is cool and all, but the real move is to get out on the water. Rent a boat, grab some snacks and drinks, and just cruise. It's the best way to see the city, and you'll get a whole new perspective on those incredible buildings. And the best part? You're surrounded by people just like you, soaking it all in. Alright, if you're looking for that quintessential Dutch experience, look no further than Zaanse Schans. This place is like stepping into a postcard, or maybe a time machine. It's all windmills, wooden houses, and enough cheese to satisfy even the hungriest traveler. You can wander around these perfectly preserved windmills, see how they work, even climb to the top for some killer views. And yes, some of them are still grinding grain and stuff. It's wild. But it's not just the windmills. You've got these adorable little shops selling everything from traditional Dutch clogs to hand-painted Delftware. And the cheese. Oh man, the cheese. They've got these shops where you can sample like a million different kinds of cheese. From Gouda to Edam to stuff I can't even pronounce. And if you're feeling really adventurous, you can even try some herring. It's peaceful, it's picturesque, and it's a great place to just wander around and soak up the Dutch countryside. Get ready to have your mind blown by color, because we're heading to Keukenhof Gardens, also known as the Garden of Europe. And trust me, this place lives up to the hype. It's like someone took a rainbow, threw in a million flowers and said, "Go wild." Now, I'm not usually a flowers and gardens kind of guy, but Keukenhof is different. It's not just a garden, it's an experience. You've got over 7 million tulips, daffodils, hyacinths, you name it, all blooming at once. It's like walking through a painting, but better because you can smell the flowers. And it's not just the flowers themselves, it's how they're arranged. We're talking intricate designs, sprawling fields of color, even sculptures made out of flowers. It's like art, but with plants. So if you're lucky enough to be in the Netherlands during tulip season, do yourself a favor and check it out. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to experience the future, and that future is Rotterdam. This city is like the rebellious younger sibling of Amsterdam, all sleek lines, bold architecture, and a serious dose of innovation. Rotterdam isn't just about buildings, it's about pushing boundaries. It's about taking risks and creating something new. You've got the cube houses, these crazy yellow cubes tilted at all angles like something out of a sci-fi movie. Then there's the Erasmus Bridge, this graceful white swan soaring over the river, connecting the old and new parts of the city. But it's not just the big name attractions, it's the whole vibe of the place. Everywhere you look, there are innovative designs, sustainable solutions, and people pushing the envelope. It's like this city is constantly evolving, always looking for the next big thing. So, if you're looking for a city that's both cutting edge and grounded, Rotterdam is the place to be. All right, let's get serious for a minute because we're heading to The Hague, the political heart of the Netherlands. But don't worry, this city is anything but stuffy. It's a place where history, politics, and culture collide, all within walking distance of the beach. Now, when you think of The Hague, you probably think of the International Court of Justice or the Peace Palace. And yeah, those are definitely worth a visit. But The Hague is so much more than just a bunch of important buildings. You've got the Mauritshuis Museum, home to masterpieces by Rembrandt, Vermeer, and other Dutch masters. You've got the Binnenhof, the oldest house of parliament in the world, still in use today. And you've got the charming streets of the Old Town, filled with cafes, restaurants, and shops. So whether you're interested in history, politics, art, or just soaking up some sun, The Hague has something for everyone. Ever dreamed of living in a fairy tale? Well, pack your bags and ditch your car because we're off to Geerthorn, the Venice of the North. This place is straight out of a storybook, with canals instead of streets, boats instead of cars, and more charm than you can shake a stick at. Picture this. You're gliding along a peaceful canal surrounded by lush greenery, the only sounds the gentle lapping of water and the chirping of birds. It's like stepping into a different world, a world without traffic jams and car horns. A world where the pace of life is just a little bit slower. Now, the main mode of transportation here is by boat, and don't worry, you don't need a captain's license to navigate these canals. They've got these cute little whisper boats that are super easy to operate. Just hop in, grab a map, and you're good to go. And as you explore the canals, you'll come across these adorable thatched roof houses, each one more charming than the last. Get ready for a city that seamlessly blends history and modernity, because we're heading to Utrecht. This place is like a time capsule, with its medieval center, ancient canals, and towering dome tower. But don't let that fool you. Utrecht is also a bustling university town with a youthful energy and a vibrant cultural scene. Now, the heart of Utrecht is undoubtedly its old town, a labyrinth of narrow streets lined with quirky shops, cozy cafes, and historic buildings. You can literally feel the history beneath your feet as you wander through these ancient streets, imagining the merchants and traders who once walked these same paths centuries ago. And speaking of history, you can't miss the Dom Tower, Utrecht's iconic landmark. This towering Gothic structure dominates the skyline, and climbing to the top is an absolute must. The views from up there are incredible, offering a panoramic vista of the city and beyond. But Utrecht isn't stuck in the past. Get ready to experience the raw power and beauty of nature because we're heading to the Wadden Sea, a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the most unique coastal areas on the planet. Now, this isn't your typical beach vacation. This is a place where the tides dictate the rhythm of life, where vast mudflats transform into shimmering seascapes, and where nature reigns supreme. Now, the first thing you'll notice about the Wadden Sea is the sheer scale of it. We're talking about a massive intertidal zone stretching for hundreds of kilometers along the coast. And when the tide goes out, it reveals these incredible mudflats, teeming with life. And I'm not just talking about a few crabs and seashells. We're talking about a whole ecosystem, with millions of birds stopping by during their migration, seals basking in the sun, and even the occasional harbor porpoise. It's like a giant buffet for wildlife, and you're right in the middle of it. Now, one of the coolest things you can do in the Wadden Sea is go mudflat hiking. Get ready to party like it's 1699 because we're heading to Maastricht, the oldest city in the Netherlands, and a place where history, culture, and good times collide. This city is like a breath of fresh air, with its charming cobblestone streets, historic squares, and a laid-back vibe that's impossible to resist. Now, Maastricht is a city that loves to celebrate, and there's no better time to experience this than during Carnival, a 3-day extravaganza of parades, costumes, and general merriment. Imagine, the streets are filled with people in colorful costumes, music fills the air, and everyone's just letting loose and having a good time. It's like Mardi Gras, but with a Dutch twist. But even if you miss Carnival, there's still plenty to see and do in Maastricht. You've got the Basilica of St. Servatius, one of the oldest churches in the Netherlands, dating back to the 6th century. You've got the casemates, a network of underground tunnels that once protected the city and now offer a fascinating glimpse into Maastricht's military past. And there you have it, folks. The 10 best places to visit in the Netherlands. From the canals of Amsterdam to the windmills of Schans, from the flowers of Keukenhof to the beaches of The Hague, this country has something for everyone. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more travel adventures. See you next time.